Hello students, welcome to the second chapter called Analogy. The objective of this chapter is to spot a connection between two objects. In this chapter, the question types that make up this set are called analogies. In both verbal and non-verbal reasoning, in analogy questions, you will usually be given one pair of images that are connected in a particular way with the first image of the second pair. You have to find the correct image to complete the second pair in the same way as the first pair. As with the odd one out, analogies can be based on a variety of different connections. In this example, find the matching pair. We have options A, B, C, and D. Observe the example carefully. Look at each pair and try to find out the missing part of the second pair. Look at the first pair. Do you find any relation? Yes, a bat and a ball both are required to play cricket. Now look at the second pair. What do you notice? They are badminton rackets. To play badminton, you need rackets and a shuttlecock. Do you find a shuttlecock in the options? Yes. So, the answer is option B. Let's move on to the next example. Look at these pairs. Which pattern you think completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair? Is it option A, B, C, or D? Observe the first pair. Look carefully at the first pair of shapes and consider their relation to each other. Look at their shape. The shapes are all the same. What about their position? The shapes are all in the same position. Look at their angle. There is no change in angle. Is there any change in number? No, there is no change in number. What about the shading? The shading changes as follows. Green shapes become vertically strip shapes. Horizontally stripped shapes become white shapes. Any difference in size? No. There is no alteration in size. Now you can predict the second shape in the second pair. Yes, the stripped section will become white and the filled section will become vertically stripped. Let us walk through all the possible answers to find the correct shape. Look at all the options carefully. How many of the filled box have become vertically stripped? And how many of the horizontally stripped shapes have become white? Only in option A, the filled box has become vertically stripped and horizontally stripped box has become white. It does not imply the same in option B and C. Whereas in option D, the filled box does not become vertically stripped and the horizontally stripped box does not always become white. Hence, the correct answer must be option A. Now let us find the matching pair for this example. Look at each option carefully and find the matching pair. We have options A, B, C, and D. Look carefully at the first pair and consider their relationship to each other. Let's observe their shape first. Both figures are of the same shape and both contain one circle and one half circle. The complete vertical figure becomes horizontal and the shape itself has stayed in the same position. Do you see any change in the angle? No, there is no change in any of the angles. Is there any change in the number? No, there is no change in the number. Did you find any change in the shading? No, there is no change in the shading. Is there any difference in the size? No, all are of the same size. Now look at pair 2. Can you predict the same relationship in this pair? Yes. The given figure is horizontal and we need to find the missing pair which is vertical in shape without any change in the shape, size and number. So according to the requirement, option B is the correct answer. Let us move on to the next example. Find out which pattern completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair. We have options A, B, C, and D. Let's start with the shape. So you will notice that the shape has stayed the same, but has more lines on it. Now let us look at the position. The position of the object has remained the same. The object has not been rotated. The size of the shape has not changed. Neither has the shading changed. But the single thin lines on the first shape becomes sets of 3 thin lines on the second shape. Now, can we predict the same relationship in the pair? Look at the first part of the pair carefully. Observe all the given options and try to find out the missing part. You will notice that the shape, position, and angle of the shape has stayed the same. Only the single lines at the end become sets of 3 lines. So, the answer is option C. Let's look at the next example. Find the matching pair out of the given options. We have option A, B, C, D. Let's observe the first pair closely. Find out the relation between them. Both the figures are of the same shape and both contain a circle and a square. Is there any change in the position? Yes, the position of the square has changed from top of the left side to the bottom of the right side. The position of the circle has changed from bottom of the left side to the top of the right side. Is there any difference in the shape? No, there is no difference in the shape. It has stayed the same in the same position. Now, can you predict the second shape in the second pair? Yes, among all the options, the position of the square has changed from top of the left side to the bottom of the right side in option B, which is similar in pattern with the first pair. Hence, the answer is option B. Now let us understand the analogies in a better way. Let's answer which pattern below completes the second pair the same way as the first pair. We have options A, B, C, or D. What do you observe? We observe that if we rotate the object 90 degrees clockwise, you get the second part of the pair. If you follow the same pattern, you will find the correct answer. Look at all the options carefully. Do you find the answer? Yes, the correct answer is option A. Let's move on to the next example. Let's find out which pattern below completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair. We have options A, B, C, or D. Look at all the options carefully. Did you find the answer? Yes, the shape is reversed and the inner object that is dotted is made bold in the second pattern. Hence, the correct answer is option D. Interesting, isn't it? Well, let's answer the next question. Which pattern below completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair? We have option A, B, C, or D. Look at all the options carefully. Did you find the answer? Yes, both patterns are mirror images of each other. Hence, the correct answer is option A. Let's now have a look at the next example. Find out which pattern below completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair. We have options A, B, C, or D. Look at all the options carefully. Did you find the answer? Yes. One circle became a circle filled with lines in a dotted circle. Hence, one square should become a square filled with lines in a dotted square. Hence, the correct answer is option A. Let's move on to the next example. Find out which pattern below completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair. We have options A, B, C, or D. Look at all the options carefully. Do you find the answer? Yes. The colored portion in the first pattern became the design, and the design portion turned to colored. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Let's move on to the next example. Which pattern below completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair? We have option A, B, C, D. Look at all the options carefully. Did you find the answer? Yes, we observed that if we rotate the first pattern 90 degrees anti-clockwise, we get the second pattern. Hence, the correct answer is option C. Let's find out the missing pair for this last example. Which pattern below completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair? We have option A, B, C, and D. Look at all the options carefully. Did you find the missing pair? Yes. We observe that one unfilled triangle is preceded by a filled. So, in the second pair, it should be preceded by an unfilled image. According to the pattern, option C matches the pattern perfectly. Hence, the correct answer is option C.